How are you all doing today? I hope you are having a lovely day. So thank you so much for watching. If you've been before, thank you so much for returning. And if you're new, be sure to like and subscribe. Yes, hit that subscribe button and do stick around. So today's video, as you can see from the title, we are talking about Sarah Baker Perfumes. Yes, it's all about Sarah Baker Perfumes. So I met Sarah Baker back in April, and Sarah is an American artist and director based in London. So she's from London. She's been around for a while now. So she's based in London and she's got an art studio in London. And our fragrances are artists' creation. That's what they are. It's really perfume art. So you are in for a treat with our line of fragrances. So that's the sample pack. So thank you so much, Sarah Baker. So they sent me this sample pack, and at the moment they've got 8 perfumes in their collection. So there's 8 fragrances in Sarah Baker Perfumes at the moment. I understand there's things in the works maybe before the end of the year. So anyway, so her first releases, 2 fragrances were Greek Keys and Leopard. So those were the first fragrances from our house, and that was back in 2016. And then she launched a few more last year. So 2018 you had a few more fragrances. And anyway, I'm not gonna review all of them now. I'm only gonna talk about the 3 fragrances that I have given a full wear from the pack, and that's Reviews of Attraction. So Reviews of Attraction there. And I like what she's done with her perfumes. Like on her packaging, even on the bottles, it does tell you the nose behind the fragrance. So Reviews of Attraction, the nose behind this one is Miguel Matos. And then you've got the much talked about Jungle Jezebel, yes, and that again is by Miguel Matos. And then you've got Charade. So Charade is by Andreas Wilhelm. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, apologies. I did my best. I did try. Anyhow, so moving along, let me start with Reviews of Attraction. I love this fragrance, Reviews of Attraction. This is richly sexy, seductive, out there. This is really, really lovely. And I'll tell you the notes in this one. The listed notes, you've got cumin, grapefruit, Heide Heights, you've got iris, gardenia, jasmine, tuberose, neroli, you've got civet musk, and then you've got leather, vanilla, woody notes, and malic notes. Do you know what? When I looked at the composition, immediately, as soon as I saw iris and Heide Heights together, I was like, oh, that should be classic. And that's what it is. And for whatever reason, it was just taking me back to the times like the old, you know, classic. How they've done this. So they've made it more modern. It's got that, it's modern classic, that's what it is. And it's sexy, it's stunning. And you know, the opening is richly the grapefruit, and then the Heide Heights that brightens, freshens it up. And then you've got the leather is there, but what I like is the leather in here. I think it's given a wrap, a cuddle by the vanilla, sort of just wraps around it, and it's not in your face leather, which I think some of you, especially if you're on my Instagram, you may know I'm not massive on leather. I can take it in tiny doses, but when it's too much in your face leather, like ombre leather, Tom Ford, I really gave that fragrance away because it was just too much for me. Like, I like leather, but in moderation. Everything tiny doses I can handle. So I like the leather in this, that it's not in your face leather. It's there, it is there, but not in your face. And then you've got obviously the woody notes that just gives it a bit more strength, like gives it a bit more push, strength to it, that just gives it a bit more depth to the fragrance. And yes, the animalic notes, it's not, again, it's not in your face, it is bearable, it is subtle. The animalic note in this is subtle, and that's what I like. And the other thing as well I noticed about the fragrances from Sarah Baker, and I mean Richie with all the ones I've tried 4, but I decided to talk about 3 because I didn't want to make it too long. Our fragrances are really long lasting. Like, performance on this is above average. So on this one I got a good 9 hours. I got 9 hours. After that it was still on my skin, like it was still on my skin. It's just after about 9 hours it wasn't projecting as much, but they are long lasting. So if you're looking for performance, something daring, something bold, I think you will like these fragrances. Do give them a try. And anyway, so and this was, again, it's a 2019 release, and obviously, like I said, you've got 10 hours on performance. It's really good, it's hoodie, it's sensual, it's seductive, it's break the rules. What rules? Break the rules. I like what they've done with this. And do you know what? Miguel Matos is fast becoming one of my favorite perfumers, because all the fragrances I've sampled, I haven't sampled a vast amount of his fragrances, but the ones I've sampled so far, I'm like, wow, it's so artistically done. Like, I appreciate the effort, what is done with the fragrances. That is so nice, because it's not every fragrance you sample. Half the fragrance I sample, you know what to expect. His are quite unique, very unique, I must say. Anyway, moving along, let's talk about this baby. So I'm saving the best for last. We've got Charade, and like I said, it's by Andreas. Anyway, so Charade, OMG, Charade. This fragrance, let me tell you, I wore it and it never left. It literally stayed with me all day from the morning till I had a shower in the evening. It stayed with me, never left. So loyal. It was so loyal. It never left. Like, it is so long lasting. And I tell you, the notes in this, you've got tuberose, you've got ylang ylang, styrex, there's benzoin siam, there's leather, patchouli, honey, there's honey, there's amber, vetiver, moss. And again, this is a unisex fragrance, like all of our fragrances. Please, sweetie, close the door.
Is this the next video?
No, it's not. It's still the first one. Right. So, as I was saying, this again is the unisex fragrance, and it is it's unisex, a lot like all the fragrances in the collection. They are all unisex, and I believe they are all extrait de parfum, so no wonder they are long lasting. But like I said, Charade is really long lasting. I got a good 15 hours from it, and it would go on. I don't know how much longer for, because I had a shower, but it never left. It stayed with me all day. Anyway, so this again this is a fragrance inspired by Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant, so it's from that era in the back then, you know. So when I looked at it, I thought, oh, classic. Again, I thought, another classic. And I think Sarah Baker is really inspired from history, like back in the day. Like, she likes classics. I realized that because as I carry on talking about this, you will see what I mean. So anyway, and then this again is a Oriental Floral. This is the Oriental Floral fragrance for me, and I'll tell you, you know what, I don't have much of it left actually. This fragrance, I'm not gonna spray that. This fragrance is so long lasting, and this is not for the faint of noses. not for the faint of not for the faint of heart. Honestly, I mean it. This fragrance is so daring. It is so daring. It is so bold, quite animalic actually, and it is, I think, because of the leather. I don't know. The opening is very much. The opening is richly tuberose. It's tuberose. It's tuberose. And then you've got ylang ylang sort of freshens things up. You've got styrex and then the benzoin into the leather. But the thing is, the leather in this is quite prominent. The leather in here is quite prominent, and anyone who knows me knows I'm not massive on leather. I mean, I can take it in tiny doses, but I don't know. I just think this fragrance, to me, it's quite dark. It's quite dark. It is bold. It is daring, and it lasts like forever. And this fragrance again is for people that appreciate the artistry in fragrances. If all you want is to smell nice, like if you are a fan of, I don't know, Britney Spears, you like Britney Spears, sweet, you know, this won't be for you. You would find this too much. It's not for a beginner in fragrance. This is for advanced noses. Like, if you appreciate the artistry in fragrance, this will be a treat. And as much as I appreciate the artistry in fragrance, this for me, I think, is a bit much for me. Like, but I tried to layer it with something sweet. OMG. Then it transformed. But I can appreciate what they were going for. They really did achieve what they wanted. A classic again. Classic. It's classic. It's dark. It's typical of the fragrances that were made that time. As much as it's got a modern twist to it, it's more how, when you see the tuberose there, it's like, oh, and then there's the moss, and everything just sort of takes it back. It's very daring, it's very bold, and I find it a bit much, but I know people that will love this. Anyway, moving along. Jungle Jezebel. Oh my gosh, do you know what? As soon as the sample pack came, I was like, let's open it, let's open it. And I opened it. First thing I wanted to smell was Jungle Jezebel. I'm like, I can't wait, I can't wait. I was so excited. I'm like, I can't wait. Because so much talk about Jungle Jezebel. So much, like, literally, this must have broken the internet or something. Like, Jungle Jezebel. Okay, so Jungle Jezebel is was inspired by the character from back in the day. So the character is divine. So if you've watched Hairspray, you are familiar with it, or if you watched him, some of you may be very familiar with it. Anyway, so that's how she looked like, and this is the bottle, how it looks like. I don't have the bottle with me, obviously, so I'll try and add things on here. So that's how Jungle Jezebel looked like, and if you look at the bottle, you can see they really went for it. Like, they did achieve what they were trying to do, and it's quite a match, isn't it? Yes. So as you can see, this is a larger than life character, like very out there, very in your face, very bold, very daring again, and this is what they did. So this is obviously, like I said, inspired by the cult singer. He was a singer, performer, he was a drag queen. So yes. So, and again, you can, like I said, have a look maybe to understand exactly what's going on here. You have to go maybe watch something, or his song, he's done a song, the same song, Jungle Jezebel, so you can look that up and really you get it. And anyway, moving along, the fragrance, the notes listed, you've got orange, there's banana, there's grapes, peach, bubblegum. And actually the bubblegum in this reminded me of the bubblegum we used to have when I was younger. And we used to have this big a ginormous chunk. Actually, being young, it seemed so ginormous. I think if I see it now, it won't be that ginormous, but it was like a big chewing gum, and it was pink and richly smelled. It smelled so nice, and it really smelled like that throughout. It never lost its color, not the smell, and I used to love those chewing gums. So anyway, and then you've got rose, and then you've got tuberose, you've got ylang ylang, there's amber, sandalwood, civet, there's civet, vetiver, there's vanilla, and tonka bean. Wow. Who else jumped when they saw civet? Do you know what? I'm normally not a massive fan of civet, like, to be honest. I'm not a massive fan of civet, so when I saw civet on the notes, I was like, will I like this? How much of a dose in civet, and all the reviews I had read about it were, oh, civet is, it's civet. But guess what? I quite love this fragrance, and I'm definitely adding a full bottle of this. Let me spray it on there. Do you know what? The opening is richly, the opening is so exciting. It's nice, it's sweet. The opening is richly, you've got the banana and the bubblegum. That's the opening. And then, minutes in, like Richie, 5-10 minutes, the civet kicks in. Civet kicks in. I'm like, oh, I would be happy if it stayed where it was, just the banana and the bubblegum, but then the civet kicks in. And I think for me why I like this, it's because there's ylang ylang and just freshens things up, and then there's the amber and sandalwood. And anyone who knows me, and I've said this before, I love sandalwood, and the sandalwood, it's richly, for me, sandalwood and civet are standing side by side, and then you sort of get the vanilla come in, and it's like, hello guys, I'm here too. And I think this is what makes it work for me, because there's vanilla, there's sandalwood, I like that. The civet, in as much as there is civet, but it's tolerable to my nose. I can take it because I'm still getting the sandalwood, I'm still getting the vanilla. That's fine by me. But be warned, this is not a fragrance you want to wear on a first date, because the other person just might not like civet. For those who don't know, civet, I'll put something on here just so that you know what civet is, for those who don't know. Because I know some of you watching, especially if you are from my Facebook, you may not be so advanced into perfumery notes, etc. Anyway, so this, do not wear on first date, because it is bold, it is in your face, it is very daring, like it is very daring. And this shouldn't be for close encounters, because you may suffocate the other person. It's a bit like Marmite, so you either love it or you loathe it. When you smell this, this is richly filthy, sexy, daring, dirty. This is dirty. This is, yes, sweetie, sit down. And this has to be a personal choice, a personal taste, because not everyone, like I said, would love this. But if you see the character, how she'll be there talking, she was so loud, so full of it, so in your face, so out of this world, larger than life, then you would appreciate how they ended up with this. Because when you see the character, and then it's like, oh my gosh, they actually achieved it. For me, this is a piece of art. Like, this is so artistically done, and I appreciate that. And I'm so grateful for Sarah Baker for having given me this chance to sample these fragrances, which I'm rather enjoying thoroughly. So for now, I'll leave it at that. That's 3 out of 8 done. So 5 more to go. I shall be seeing you guys soon with the rest of the pack, and I hope you found this review helpful. So I shall be seeing you again soon. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Take care. Have a lovely day. Bye. Bye.